Welcome back to the Manc Entrepreneur YouTube channel, and in today's episode I'm going to be talking to you about why I feel getting lucky is not something which happens to entrepreneurs. Now this is a live video that I'm recording right now. I do apologize, it's 12 o'clock on Friday. I had no videos planned. It's been a hectic week. I'll tell you more about the week on Monday. Monday's Don't Suck episode. As always, we do a bit of a weekly recap. It's been a busy one, and hence I've not been as prepared as I usually am with episodes going out. So that's why right now I'm recording this live episode for you, and we're going to talk about luck. And yeah, I'm hoping it'll be a good one. With that said, this comes off the back of a conversation I had with John Hayes and Matt on Wednesday. I was down in Bristol with John and Matt working on the business, and you can see a vlog link up here in the top corner. Go and check that out if you haven't seen it already. Now, with that said, getting onto the topic of luck, I'm sure someone at some point in your life has probably said, "Oh, you've got lucky," or "You're really lucky," or they've attributed something about your character, your situation, to luck. Now, this came off the back of a conversation with John, who brought it up and said it really annoys him when people attribute success to luck. They don't see the full journey which goes on behind the scenes. And me and Matt both 100% totally agreed with John, and that's what has led me to talking about it today. Now, that concept of someone telling you that it's okay for you because you got lucky, it's fundamentally flawed, because when you think about luck as a general thing, they're basically making an excuse for themselves as to why they are not where they want to be, or it's basically they're trying to diminish what you've achieved by saying you got lucky and that you didn't have a hand in where you are today. Now, on one hand, luck does exist on a very high level, very meta level, that everybody gets lucky in some shape or form in terms of where they are born, who their parents are, where they're born. You can't choose that, and it's the same lottery for everybody. If I might not be here, I could have been Somalian, for example. I know this is terrible genetics and it makes no sense, but for example, you could have been born in a very different country. My dad nearly took a job in Canada for before I was born, and that I could have been the Toronto entrepreneur, for example. Who knows? These things happen, and certain things, luck does come into it in terms of things which you can't control, such as where you are born and who your parents are, and all that sort of thing. That is one thing that you cannot control. And ultimately, again, that is one thing which I can't argue with. I've been very fortunate. My dad is someone I look up to massively as like an entrepreneur, as a business person, and has been incredibly successful. So growing up, there was hard times for me as a child. I don't really remember them because I was really young, and then my dad's business took off and went from strength to strength. And like I said, my childhood has been very, very privileged. I never really wanted for anything. Grew up in a very stable, loving family. So again, I don't have that hardship which some people do, which they can rely on for motivation to be better. I'm very, very fortunate for that. And yeah, whether that's lucky or not, that's one thing. But in terms of business, I genuinely don't think that luck comes into it. A lot of people would say, oh, if you land a big business deal or a contract, that you got lucky. No, you didn't get lucky. You put yourself in the position for that to happen. You have to put yourself out there in such a way that you put the proposal forward, you go to the meetings, you do the interviews, people like you put your best foot forward, and then they say yes, and then you've won the business. And that's not lucky. That's a lot of hard work and a lot of preparation which has gone into making that decision happen. And some people would say of myself and Matt, who you've met in a few of the videos, Matt is and was and still very much is someone I look up to massively. When I first got started in e-commerce, he was someone who was already in it and had been doing it and was doing great things. And when he asked me to start a business with him, some people say, oh, you were lucky because Matt asked you to start. And it was like, well, was it lucky, or was it just the fact that I was doing what no one else was doing at that time? I was learning and working for other businesses. But in my spare time, in the evenings and weekends, I was writing blog posts and commenting on other, discussions going on around e-commerce online. I was learning things. And I was genuinely interested in putting myself out there to try and learn as much as possible and try different things and see what would work. I think Matt saw that. Matt had always got on and still do at a very good level. And I think ultimately Matt had always said that if he was going to start another business, he would have to do it with someone else to sort of share some of the load. And I think that was just one of the opportunities that came my way, and it turns out to be one that has been a very good one. Myself and Matt have been very fortunate. Again, fortunate's not the word. We worked very well together, and we both agreed that we'd sacrifice 12 to 18 months taking no money, just working, ridiculous hours and days in order to make things happen. So now when people look at the business that we run and say, oh, you're really lucky, it's like, no, that we're not lucky. We worked like you wouldn't believe, like you never saw. You never saw us working that level. You basically never saw us because we didn't go out. We didn't socialize. We were just busy working. And then it was a hell of a risk because no one had done it before and nobody's done it since. So, we didn't get lucky. We actually put ourselves out there and worked incredibly hard to do what we achieved. And that's the thing. It's you make your own luck. I know there's people, if you're watching this right now and someone's ever said to you, oh, you got lucky, call bullshit on it, because it genuinely, you didn't get lucky. You worked hard for it. And okay, winning the lottery is lucky. There's no arguing with that. But if you're going to start a business and it be successful and you be able to make a living from your business, that's not lucky. That's hard work. Do you know how many people try and do that and fail every single day, every single week, every single month, because they're not putting in the work to make it happen? That's the reality. It's not getting lucky. It's, are you willing to work hard enough in order to make it happen? So for anyone, my message to you is simple today. For anyone who ever tells you that you got lucky, that you're lucky in what you do and it's okay for you because of this, that, and the other, don't stand for it. Don't believe it, because you had to make it happen. And that's the remarkable thing about you. If you can make that happen, you're the envy of a lot of people, and they'll try and bring you down to justify their own unhappy lives. But don't let them, because if you can do what you do, if you can be happy, if you can live a life that you lead, start a business that you enjoy. I was out with Justin and John last night, and Justin hit the nail on the head. He says, sometimes I feel like I'm being punished because I love my work. People use it against him because, and I'm the same, I enjoy what I do, but people use it against you. Oh, it's okay for you because, you enjoy your job. No, it's not okay for me. I had to take a risk and make it happen. I had to go and create my job. Nobody came and gave it to me. I had to go make it happen. So don't let anybody tell you you've been lucky. You're making it happen, and that is more than what can be said for the other people who are calling you lucky. With that said, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe if you are new. It's Friday, so have a great weekend, whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're working on becoming more lucky or whatever it is, then I hope it's a good one for you. I'll be back with you on Monday for another Monday's Don't Suck episode. I think next week I'm around all week, which will be nice. I'm hoping to actually sort of plan Sunday and Saturday, Sunday. I'm hoping to plan a lot of content. I'm just looking at the list now. Some of the things you should hopefully see next week. The 5 myths that you hear as an entrepreneur, that'll be a fun episode. Generation Z, we're going to be chatting about them. And also, I would like to get the video done about the possible replacement for Terapeak. If you're an eBay seller and competitor research went out the window, there is a software out there. It's not exactly like for like, but it's pretty damn close, and it's better than no software. So hopefully I'll be able to sit down and take you through that as well. With that said, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I'll catch you, as always, on Monday. Thank you for watching.